Hello, welcome. I'm Tauni, and today I'm leading you through a Power Yoga Vinyasa style practice. Quite a bit of movement in this one, and then the latter part of class we will slow it down, hold the poses a little longer, and really work on our flexibility. If you need a block or a towel like I do, go ahead and grab those things now, and let's get started. We're going to begin in a child's pose. So take the knees wide, feet are touching, and lower down to the mat. I invite you to pause, to close your eyes, and start to turn your attention to your breath and your body. Long breath in, and exhale, let it go. Using these deep breaths to introduce some calmness, some peacefulness into our space. As we let go of any distractions or worries or anxieties, we're just setting that aside and taking time for ourselves. One more deep breath. Begin to extend your arms forward into extended child's pose, gently spreading your fingers, bringing length into your arms, into your back. Begin to rise up, coming into a tabletop. Shoulders over your wrist, moving into cow pose. So looking forward, lift your tailbone up, open your chest, and then round the spine upwards for cat pose. Begin to move with your breath, inhaling to cow and exhaling to cat. At your own pace. Being mindful of how our body feels today as we begin to introduce this movement. Finding a neutral spine, threading the needle, sweep the right arm up, and then bring it underneath with the palm up as you lower the head and the shoulder to the mat. Extending the left arm forward out onto your mat. Moving back into your tabletop. Lifting the left arm, sweep it up. And thread the needle, lower to your mat, extending the right arm forward. Again, lifting up into that tabletop. Moving into puppy dog pose as we begin to walk the hands forward. Keep the tailbone lifted as you lower the chest anywhere towards the mat. Find a nice stretch through the arms, through your back. And then walking those hands back in. Stepping to downward facing dog. lifting the hips up. Take a moment here to begin to alternate bending your knees, pedaling out your feet. Fingers are gently spread. And then come into stillness, find downward facing dog. Begin to lift the right leg for one leg dog. We're going to keep the hips square, so flex the foot, toes point down. Remaining in this position, just start to take the leg a little bit more out to the right. Notice what it does to your balance. Bring that leg right back behind you. Bring that knee to the chest as you move forward into a high plank. So you want your shoulders over your wrist, lift away from the floor, drive that knee up, then lightly lower it to the mat. Supported side plank, lifting that top left leg. Take that right hand to the foot, and then press the foot into the hand to open up the front of the thigh and the shoulder. Extending back out, coming back to downward facing dog. Hips remain square, lift the left leg, so toes point down. Find that strength in the back of the leg. And again, see what happens if you move that left leg out to the left side. Keep pressing evenly into your hands. Bringing that leg back behind you. High plank, knee to chest. Drive that knee up. Then carefully, with control, being mindful, we lower the knee. Coming into that supported side plank, or sometimes called supported half moon pose. Bending the knee, foot goes into the hand, and see if you can press. Find that stretch, that opening in the front of the body. Extend back out, and downward facing dog. Looking forward, step to the top of your mat. Hands to the shins, half lift. So pulling the shoulders back. Exhale to fold, Uttasana. As you inhale, rise up, high mountain pose. Bringing the hands to the heart center. Inhale, reaching your arms over your head. Swan dive, hinge forward, forward fold. Half lift, gazing forward. Forward fold. Step back to a high plank. Lightly take your knees to the mat. Bend your elbows and lower down with control, no rush. Cobra pose, lifting the chest, hips stay down. Press back, downward facing dog. As you inhale, step the right foot and then the left. Lengthen your back, half lift. Forward fold. Inhale, rising up, arms reach, hands to the heart center. Again, inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen, half lift. Forward fold. Step back, high plank. So knees can find the mat, or this time I'm going to keep them up. Shift forward with control, nice and slow, lower to the mat. Tops of the feet press into the mat. High cobra. Downward facing dog. One more deep breath. Looking forward, left foot steps, then right. Half lift. Forward fold. Inhale, rising up, high mountain. Press through the feet, legs are firm. Hands to the heart center. Inhale, reach the arms up. Forward fold. Lengthen, half lift. Forward fold. Stepping to high plank. Shift forward, chaturanga, pause, elbows, shoulders align. Flipping the feet over, press upward facing dog. Hips, knees lifted, down dog. Looking forward, step or float. Lengthen your back. Forward fold. Inhale, rising up. Hands to the heart center. Bend both knees, arms overhead. Utkatasana, chair pose. Forward fold. Half lift, maybe the fingers stay on the floor now. Step back to chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Down dog. Hips stay square, lift the right leg. Knee through chest, step forward, find warrior lunge, crescent lunge. Pause, knee over ankle. Gazing forward, let the corners of your mouth come up, give me a smile. Take the hands down to the mat. Now we're going to step that right foot back, come into a side plank. So you can always take the bottom knee, down for that supported option. High plank, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, down dog. We pause, breathe deeply from your belly. One leg dog, lift the left leg, hips square. Knee through chest, high lunge. Hands to the mat. Left foot will step back, stack on top. Find that side plank. High plank, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, down dog. So hopefully building heat, feeling warmer, maybe looser, and maybe even hopefully a little bit more relaxed and focused. Looking forward, feet to hands. Forward fold. Inhale, rising up, high mountain. Hands to the heart center. Sit back into chair pose, bend your knees, sit deeply. Forward fold. Half lift, just lengthen your back. Step back, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, finding every pose. Down dog. Right leg lifts, hips square. Knee through chest, rise up, high lunge. Hands to the mat, side plank, right on top of left. High plank, chaturanga. Flowing through the half series, know you could always just take it to down dog if you need to. Last time on the left, lift the left leg. Stepping it forward. High lunge. Hands to the mat. Step back, side plank, stack the legs. Reach up. High plank, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, find every pose. Down dog, pause and breathe. Deep breaths. Looking forward, feet to hands. Half lift and fold. Rising up. Hands to the heart center. Are we still smiling? Last time through, then we'll move to our main series. Warming that body, sit back into chair. Forward fold. Half lift, lengthen your back. Chaturanga. Feel strong, legs are firm. Upward facing dog. Down dog. Lift that right leg. Bring it forward. High lunge. Knee over ankle, find your pose. Hands to the mat. Side plank. High plank. Half series flow. Left leg lifts. Stepping forward. High lunge. Hands to the mat. Side plank. High plank. Vinyasa flow, or you can always take that downward facing dog. Breathe. Knees to mat, child's pose. Downward facing dog. Lift the right leg, keep the hips square. So now we're going to take that right leg out to the side like we did the very first time, but see if you can take it wider. Bring it back behind you, step it forward, high lunge. Continue to press through that back heel, but lean forward into a diagonal position, arms swept to your side. Continue to lengthen through the crown of the head. Shift forward, warrior three. The toes point down, foot flexed. High lunge, step it back. Add crescent here. Let's take the eyes up. Open your heart. Warrior two, float your arms down, line with the shoulders, lengthen through the fingertips. Straighten the legs, turn the left toes to the corners. We're going to drop into Skandasana pose. Breathe, keeping the back straight. Hands are pressed together at your heart center. Feel strong, lift up, warrior two. Reverse triangle. So we're going to straighten that forward right leg, lean back, eyes up. Just a light touch of the hand on that back leg. Begin to circle your hands to the mat on either side of the foot. Lift that back heel. You're in a nice low lunge. One leg dog. Keep the hips square. Find your strength. Bring that knee forward into the chest. We've done this before. Pause. Now we're going to roll to that right side. Extend the leg for fallen triangle. Hand to the mat. Step back. Downward facing dog. Walk your feet wide to the edges of your mat. Hands begin to walk back. We're moving into a yogi squat. Heels in, toes out, dropping the hips. And again, hands pressed to the heart center. Begin to lift your hips, hands to the mat, heel toe, your feet back into a forward fold. Come into that stretch. Choose to stay, or some of you might want to practice your crow pose. Hands to the mat, knees to the back of the triceps. Always look forward. And then maybe you find balance. Step it back, forward fold. You can always hit that pause button if you want to practice again. If not, walk it out to a high plank. We're going to hold this high plank for a 10 count. 10, 9, last 4, 3, 2, downward facing dog. Lifting the left leg, keep it square, squeeze. Challenge your balance, take that foot out to the left side, lengthen that leg out. Bring it back behind you, step it forward, high lunge. Diagonal. So lengthen from the crown of your head all the way to the heel. Back is straight. Shift the weight, lift the back leg, warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3. Step it back, high lunge. Maybe you add crescent. Open up. Warrior 2. Begin to straighten your legs. Right toes turn to the corners, drop into that Skandasana pose, back straight. It's okay if that heel comes up. It's okay if you need to take your hands down. Begin to press up, warrior 2. Reverse triangle, left arm reaches up and back, straighten that left leg. Begin to lift, take the hands to the mat, low lunge. Right back to that one leg dog. Lift that left leg, hips square. Find that strength. Bring that knee into the chest. Then rotate to falling triangle, extending that left leg out to the mat. And moving back to high plank. Down dog. Feet step wide. Walk it back, drop into that yogi squat. Steady your breath. Begin to lift, come into that forward fold, bring the feet hip distance apart. Stay or practice your crow pose. Forward fold. Inhale, rise up, high mountain pose. Hands to the heart center. You're doing beautifully. We're going to step our right foot forward. Pivot your back foot out about 45 degrees. We're setting up for pyramid pose. So hips stay square. Inhale. Hinge forward, hands to either side of the foot. This might be a great place for a block. I'm going to go ahead and grab mine. Find pyramid pose. Now you can stay in pyramid or begin to lengthen your back. We're going to go into revolved triangle. So the right arm goes up. And see if you can take the eyes up towards that lifted hand. Release. That back foot steps forward. Inhale, rise up. High mountain, arms up. Hands to the heart center. Switching sides, so your left foot will step forward this time. Set up your back foot. Square the hips, reach up, and pyramid pose. Lengthen your back. Maybe the hand stays on the floor as you begin to twist. I like to use my block on this. Try to keep your hips as level as you can. Eyes up. Hands to the mat. Step that back foot forward. Lengthen your spine. Half lift. Forward fold. Inhale, rise, high mountain, arms up. And hands to the heart center. We're going to balance. We're going to do standing big toe today. So we're going to start by balancing on the right foot. We're going to pull the left knee to the chest. So find balance. If it's struggling today, go to a wall, grab onto a chair, no big deal. Start to take that leg out to the side. Bring it back in. So now maybe you grab onto the big toe with the peace fingers and extend the leg. Again, up to you. You can always keep the knee bent. Slowly come out of your pose. Shake that out. All right, we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So we balance on the left, stand tall. Right knee to chest. And then guide that knee out to the side. Bring it back and then choose your pose. Peace fingers around the big toe, thumb on top, extend or keep that leg bent. And meet me back in Tadasana. Shake that out. We're going to begin to flow to the floor. Reach up. Forward fold. Lengthen. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Down dog. Come forward and you're going to lower your body to the mat. We're going to move into locust pose. So arms to your sides, lift the chest, lift the back of the legs up. Try to keep the legs straight. And release, press back, child's pose. Moving into a kneeling position, bringing the hips over the knees, rise up. Moving into camel pose, I'm going to start you here with the hands at the low back, and you're always welcome to stay here. So moving into your pose, lead with your eyes, with your drishti, our focus. We turn them up, bringing that back bend into the body. Hands stay on the back for support or reach for your ankles, hopefully without twisting the body too much. Just a few more breaths. Breathe deeply. Maybe you lower your feet. And rise back up. Sit it back, child's pose. So breathe deeply. That's a big back bend. So as you breathe, allow the belly and the back to expand. And then draw it in. One more time, breathe it in. And out. We're gonna flip over and have a seat. So we're gonna keep our knees bent. You're gonna roll down one vertebrae at a time. So be mindful, control, scooping your abs in, slow as you can go, and lower down. Take the legs up, hands underneath the hips, legs straight. Breathe in and begin to lower the legs any amount, and then exhale, lift it up. So again, we're gonna do these double leg drops. The back is connected to the mat. Now for these last few, maybe you lift your shoulders. Again, these are mindful, they are slow, they are controlled. One more. And bring your knees to your chest, hands to shins, rock side to side. So we're going to lift the shoulders, hands behind the head. Bring your knees over your hips. Again, connect to that low back, belly's down. Take your right elbow to your left knee and extend that right leg out. As you hold here, lift the right leg up, down, then switch. Switch, lift the left leg up, down, switch, up, down, switch. So the shoulders are lifted the whole time. Point the toe, switch, lift, and switch. Good. Again. Two more. Now just yogi bike for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Knees to chest. Beautiful job. Rock it up. And move into a seated straddle. So I'm going to face the long edge of my mat. Legs are wide. Trying to keep those toes turned up. Reach the right arm and extend over the left leg. So we're going to start to slow a little bit. Hold these a little bit longer. Mindfully lift up and switch sides. Lengthen first out of the side body and then over. Lifting up, walking the hands forward. Try to keep the legs open, like they're trying to roll open to the back as your upper body comes forward. And walking the hands back in, lift the chest. Bring the knees bent right in front of you. Take that right ankle over to the left hip, so underneath. And then stack the knees, both feet by the hips. Reaching the arms up. Take that right hand to the center of the back. We're moving into cow face pose. And then the left hand binds behind you. So if your hands don't comfortably bind, a towel in the top hand is a great tool to use, or a belt, a strap, a yoga strap, whatever you have. Sometimes people, when they do bind, they tend to crunch. I'm going to ask that you keep a nice long spine and eyes forward, best you can. And then if you wanted to make this maybe a little bit more sensation into the hips, you can lean forward. Again, just experiment, see how it feels. If it's not for you, don't do it. We're going to release, twist the legs. And same thing on the other side. This time the left foot will be on the bottom. Crossing it, stacking, reach up. Left hand to the center of the back. Right arm behind you, lead with that thumb, palms face behind you, binding your fingers. And again, sit up as tall as you can. Then experiment, if you wish, in leaning forward. Just do your best to keep your back straight. And come up and release. You can shake that out. We're going to move into a seated butterfly stretch. So feet connected, knees drop open wide. You can loosen it up a little bit. Today I'm going to have you grab onto your feet. The bottoms of your feet are going to be connected, and then I want you to peel them open. So when you look down, they almost look like a book. And then maybe you hinge forward. Again, just experiment, see how that moving forward feels. Pause at your edge. And then come up, shake the legs out. Sit up nice and tall, arms over your head. And again, hinge forward from your hips, coming into a forward fold. We're going to begin to roll down, again, mindfully with control. And knees to chest, and rock side to side. We're going to keep our right leg in, extend the left out to the mat. We're going to extend the right leg up, and we're going to try a straight leg twist today. If it's more comfortable for you, or this just doesn't work, you can always bend the leg, but if not, see if you can keep it as straight as you can. I have a small bend in my knee, and then drop it across into your spine twist, connecting your shoulders to the mat. So when we do this with the straight leg, you're going to feel hopefully more of that stretch into the IT band and into that outer part of the hip. And bending the knee, roll back to your back. Let's try that on the other side. Left leg up and dropping into that twist. Coming back onto your back. Reach your arms over your head. Straighten the legs, give me a stretch. And then start to walk the feet a little wider than the hips. Bring the arms to your sides. Relax, let the feet just drop away from each other. Maybe shake out those legs. Palms are up. Go ahead and close your eyes. Find stillness as we move into this resting pose of Savasana. Begin to wiggle the fingers, the toes, bringing that gentle movement back into the body. Then begin to draw the knees in and roll to your side into a resting position. Keeping the eyes closed for just a few more moments. Letting the corners of your mouth come up, creating that smile. And let's choose today to go into the rest of the day with a good attitude and meet things that we encounter and the people we encounter with a smile and some joy in our hearts. Helping yourself up to have a seat. You did beautifully. I say it every time, but you did. You showed up, and I really hope you enjoyed the class. Let's bring our hands to a prayer at our hearts. And from my heart to yours, namaste. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a blessed day. If you enjoyed the class, share it. I think everybody could use a little bit of yoga in their life, and so please share, and I'd love to hear your feedback in the comments below. Thanks again.